Hey, what's up, guys? John here. We are stepping into the biggest economic crisis we've ever experienced in this country, and we are going to see more problems over the next 6 to 12 months than we've ever seen, ever. Period. It's not just the affordability problem. Of course, that is a huge crisis. It's not just the fact that we're watching interest rates on mortgages go from 3% to 7% and climbing. It's not the fact that most companies, over half of all companies in America, are looking at layoffs. It's not this energy crisis. It's everything together, all moving in syncly to ruin the middle class and to bring true devastation to America. This is happening without doubt. Now, when I'm looking at this information, there's only a couple options. The first option is to stand up, realize what's coming, and to build out plans, a real smart strategy to weather the storm, because that's what we're stepping into. We're stepping into a storm. The other option is to pretend like it's not happening, which is what a lot of people, it makes them feel more comfortable to pretend like, hey, this isn't a real problem. But when you look at the data, 8 million people behind on rent, 3.8 million scheduled to be evicted in the next 60 days. Right now, 20% of U.S. households have missed or made a late payment on the utility bill in the last month, according to a recent Bank of America report. Not surprisingly, families with an income of $50,000 or less are struggling the most to absorb high energy costs. It's not just that. A lot of people say, lower income families. It's all families. People that make $250,000 a year, it's over half of it's like 56% of people that make $20,000 a month cannot afford, they're on paycheck to paycheck. They can't afford the next month's expenses without that next week paycheck. Like, we live as a society heavily dependent on debt, heavily dependent on credit cards, heavily dependent on, making those installment payments. That's what this country is dependent on. And when we're looking at record high inflation, many would argue somewhere around 20 or 25%. If you look at basic rent, it's increased over 20% in the last 2 years. Everything is up double digits. Somehow, CPI is 8%, but everything is up double digits. So if you're making $50,000 a year, your pricing power is probably somewhere closer to $35,000 a year. And now they're saying that utility bills are set to increase a whopping 17%. 17%. Coming soon. So what I think is very likely to happen is I think we're going to watch more garage sales unfold up and down every street in America. We're going to watch more people selling things they don't need and more people cutting back heavily on discretionary spending. Now, in this video, I'm going to walk you through what I think is going to happen, what you can do to prepare. Please hit that like button. When you hit the like button, YouTube's going to share this content to educate more people about what's really going on. People really need to understand that we're stepping into this storm. It could be a really good opportunity for the smart, savvy, and the prepared. For me, that's exactly what I'm doing. I realize we're stepping into an economic hell. I realize we're stepping into some real problems, but I also realize that most people are not prepared for this, or they pretend like it's not going to happen. And for me, that could be an opportunity to make some really great investments, really invest in things that I thought were overvalued over the last couple of years. Maybe I get that once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to buy, those items. This is the moment to prepare. This is the moment to build cash flow. It's the moment to bring in a side hustle, in my opinion. Now, when we're looking at what I think the next couple of years are going to be, I believe that we're going to see inflation potentially continue to climb. We're going to watch things get much more expensive, and we are going to watch interest rates rise over the next year or two. Things are going to get devastatingly expensive in this country. But if you are thinking like, hey, what can I do about this? I might get laid off. There's so much opportunity online to make money. And when we're looking at California, for example, speaking of an expensive place to live and needing to make money, they're saying that experts talk energy prices in ways that users can save money. Now, one of the ways is by not using utilities, basically. Wearing long johns, 3 pairs of long johns, jeans, throwing denim jackets on the kids. Like, this is the world that we're stepping into. So when people say, and I've heard this recently, oh, things are fine, things are going to go back the way they were. I think people are jaded as to just how much the world has changed over the last couple of years, not anticipating the change in which we are going to be stepping into. We are already on the vessel, and we're driving, we're floating, we are steering our way to the new destination, right? That's exactly what's happening right now. It's up to all of us to really be real with ourselves about this. California, some California utility customers in the Central Valley saw a $500 to $600 electric bill increase over the summer. $500 to $600. Inflation right now is costing the average American household $700 a month, right? So you start adding all this stuff in. I'm telling you, we are going to start to see more rent defaults than we've ever seen. Right now, 8 million renters behind on rent, 3.8 million scheduled to be evicted in the next 60 days. We're going to start seeing more and more and more people saying, you know what, do I heat the house? Do I feed my kids or do I pay the landlord? More likely than not, they're going to feed their kids first. They're going to start wearing extra clothes if they can't afford to heat the house. And then maybe the landlord gets hit on the back end. Maybe they get some payments on the back end. But I'm telling you, we're going to start to see some more changes. That's why right now is like the most important time to build out a plan. If you want to make some extra money, potentially at home, you could work with me. Simply click the link in the description of the video in my Discord channel. It's completely 100% free. I will not ask you for a single dollar ever. I will personally train you. The only way that I would actually benefit is if you follow what I'm teaching you, then we both make money. If you don't follow it, then obviously I just waste my time. But I believe you will make money because I just started this a few days ago and I already have a handful of people that I'm going to be paying out on Friday. There's two ways to get paid. The first is every single Friday. The second is you get paid over commissions. And so you can get paid out daily depending on how much you sell and when every sale closes. But you need no skill, no social following. You need no experience, nothing. It's a copy and paste model. If you think that it's a lie or whatever, you can go in the Discord channel and there's a little tab that says payouts. You can just watch other people get paid on Friday. With record-breaking heat over the summer, utility bills have skyrocketed not only with increased usage, but with rates from common California utility companies, right? And the Energy Secretary under Clinton, Cisco DeVries, says that California's solar power use is highest around noon and tapers off in the afternoon as the sun sets. There's actually fairly inexpensive power and usually even extra solar that we don't use. This is where we're all going to be going, the solar. This is going to be everywhere. Like this is almost going to be like a non-negotiable, I promise you, the next 5 years. You're going to watch that industry completely explode. Like it's going to be so popular because this is what's happening. We're moving off of fossil fuels to this. And so I guarantee you, we're going to start to witness a massive run on that industry that we won't eat even during the day, in the middle of the day. She said the middle of the day is very cheap and they can charge you lower rates for now. The problem is when the sun goes down, that is exactly when people get home from work, home from school, they are turning on their air conditioning and they're cooking dinner. That moment is the new peak, right? So what are they saying? They're saying, don't use your utilities. Yeah, I'm sure you've been hit with inflation. Sure, the economy, we're going through our changes. Sure, interest rates went from 3% to 7%. Sure, we gave you $3,600 in total stimulus payments, and the net result of that is 20% inflation, many would argue, right? So yeah, we gave you all these things, and don't turn on the heater in the house. Don't cook the dinner. Don't do this. Don't do that. This is what's going to happen. I'm not saying this to scare anybody. I'm just saying this to be real. Like people need to understand that I believe that the cost of living in America, like if you were making say $100,000 5 years ago or 4 years ago, which is a ton of money, you're making $8,000 a month. That's a ton of money. I personally believe you would need to make $180,000, $200,000 in the next few years to maintain the same lifestyle. That's what I think. I think incomes are going to need to double, basically double, like almost every 5 years to be able to keep up with this. Because another thing that I think is going to be a real big curveball is they're going to, I bet you, start to sell that, hey, we need to pay people a living wage. Everything's too expensive. And then what's going to happen is that these corporations, companies are going to say, you know what, we'll pay another 5% maybe or 6%. We'll pay this in the short term, right? Even though we're going to see a lot of, white collar jobs get wiped out, but I'm talking mainly like face-to-face customer service, restaurant jobs. I'm talking, service industry jobs. They're going to probably pull another 5, 7, 8% maybe. Like they will. And then what's going to happen is these businesses are going to say, you know what? I'm just going to switch to robotics. I'm going to switch to tech. Even if I can't afford it up front right now, I'll put it in a lease payment. It's still going to be better off. It's more reliable. It's more cash effective. It makes more sense. We're going to start to see a lot of these face-to-face service jobs, McDonald's, Walgreens, CVS, Vons, ShopRite, all these jobs. We're going to start to see a lot more of the cashless experience. And we're going to start to see the entire economy change over the next 5 to 10 years, I promise you. And it's up to the smart and savvy investor to realize where things are going. They're going up. Everything's going up. Everything's going to get much more expensive. It's up to all of us to be very smart, strategic, and intelligent with how we spend our money and where we are really allocating our time, because we don't really have that much of it to really get to a safe place, the promised land. With that being said, please hit that like button. Hit the like button again. YouTube's going to share this content to educate more people. If you want to make money with me, you can make between $1, maybe even $30,000 per month, completely free. Completely free. All you have to do is copy and paste. I teach you everything. I personally train you every single day, live group Zoom calls. There's a group experience. Like, you will never feel alone. You'll have all the answers to all your questions. It's simple. It's easy. You can do it with just 1 hour a day. If you'd like to work with us, we'd love to work with you. LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok up in the banner, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.